Hello everyone and welcome back to the GESL. We're getting into the meat of Championships Sunday as we have a best of 3 on our hands between Alicia and Violet. And without any further ado, let's just hit that start button.
I am so excited right now. Violet, everyone loves him. I'm a play him guy. I love this guy. Follow him through every tournament he goes into. Alicia, though, so good right now. Players doing a little bit of funny banter there in chat. We're going to get started, though. Cloud Kingdom's the map. ZVP, what are you thinking?
What am I thinking? Okay, well, I'm thinking this should be awesome because this is, again, this is
real awesome.
These are the two players left in this tournament that are probably the most...
The contenders to win at the higher percentage.
That, and I feel like they have the most fans, perhaps? Is that too much of a stretch? Because Violet, again, he's the Korean
point, yeah.
who came over to America, lived for a while, has learned English. It's actually hilarious. I don't know if you've seen his interviews with some people. It's actually
He's
awesome.
He's fantastic.
And then Alicia, on the other side of things, he's a Protoss player who's actually really good at this game.
Yeah, one of the few, I guess. I believe Clyde's still in the tournament, and he might have just as much fans, but that's just because of Tastosis.
That's true.
Clyde's
awesome.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I love
and
talking to him.
You can see in the chat there, Violet saying Protoss in, but I've had the pleasure of being able to hang out with these guys throughout the last week because we're both here between MLG Anaheim and this event. And it's like a running joke kind of thing. Every time I'm near Alicia, I say Protoss Imba. Right, trying to go for the Korean accent kind of thing, and he
that was
all the
good
time.
One.
Thank you. All the time he's like, no, no, and it's actually hilarious. And then Violet in the pregame chat, I said Protoss Imba. Of course, you know you can try to do that on the keyboard, but it's hard. So I had to mix in some P's and some Q's in there to actually make it like Protoss Imba. And I did that, and then Violet mimicked what I did. And Alicia was like, no, in the chat. So that's what's going on here. We're all having fun here at the GESL.
Yeah, it's a great event, man. We're going to be seeing a Nexus first probably here from Alicia. I mean, he plays as great as possible. A lot of players can get away with Nexus first. Even if you get the fast scout, he's got no real early pull timing, so he can get the wall up just in time. This is a real nice map for that. There's 3 buildings right here, man. Yeah,
I mean, Cloud Kingdom, it does have a natural expansion that is relatively easy to defend as a Protoss player. Most maps in the current map pool have that available, and we do see the very fast Nexus. That was actually a 17 Nexus there from Alicia. And meanwhile, we have it looks like a 14 pool, I should say, on the way from Violet, and going to take that expansion very soon. Alicia not really worrying about blocking that expansion, which I'm a little bit interested about. If there's an interview, I would probably ask him about that. But we only interview the winner here at the GESL. And speaking of which, we're in Championship Sunday, guys. So we're in the final 8 right now. Anori, Sleep, Golden Dream, Ryung, Monster, Violet, Alicia. Monster already 2-0ing Ryung.
I was casting those games with Azael.
Tell me about those just really quickly. Give me a TLDW.
Game 1, Monster was way ahead. Ryung almost clawed his way back in. He ended up taking the game, though. Game 2, Monster, very fast meter time, metagaming Ryung, and just Monster made it look easy peasy, man.
I'm so impressed with the guy. I mean, he just all killed EG.
And then he took out the Muslim, who wasn't in the all kill.
Sure. And then he got 3rd at the last DreamHack. And now here he is in the final 4 of the GESL with just a ridiculous amount of high skill players left. Now, Violet versus Alicia, the winner of this will play Monster. So
I talked to Monster. He wants to play Violet.
Really?
He is afraid. He's not confident in ZVZ. He just knows Protoss is Imba. So
it's one of those questions where, like, okay, you have the option between Violet and Alicia. You know,
it's not an easy one.
You have the option between running a marathon and biking 100 miles. Like you're never gonna have a choice that you're gonna be super confident with. So that should be an exciting round of 4. But again, it depends on the winner of this match. So. Super excited to see this series. Again, it is a best of 3 still in the semifinals.
Yes,
it's going to be best of 5.
And
then finals best of 7 as far as I know.
Yes, I believe that is correct. Now the Cybernex court is about to finish up here for Alicia. 3rd base has been started for Violet as well. Creep spread getting going. You always want to connect your natural to your 3rd as fast as possible, just so you can defend a little bit easier. We're seeing that +1 weapon started up immediately here as the Cybernetic score finishes up. So we'll be seeing a timing with this. You think it's going to just be the 4-gate Zealot?
Let me keep an eye. Let's see. We have 2 gases. We don't have any additional gateways on the way. The Cybercore Warp Gate is just about 20% of the way done. Chrono boosting at a Stalker. +1 is on the way. He's not chrono boosting his core, which is a little bit intriguing. So he definitely wants to do a little bit of pressure with the Stalker, I would imagine.
Ooh,
but
Robo.
okay, and there's the rally across the map. So he is going to put a Robo on the field, and this could mean a couple of things. One, either he's going to go for a fast third and then rely on great Immortal positioning, great Sentry force fields to defend the very fast third, or he could go for that really hyper aggressive 2-base all-in style, which involves a lot of Immortals that is very hard to stop as a Zerg player. Or he can do something crazy like just get a War Prism or something, or he can get like a Twilight Council, go for a Blink and have an Observer and do crazy stuff with that. But I would expect it to be one of 2 things, either the fast expansion or the Immortal push.
I really like ZVP. I think it's got the most interesting mid-game currently. There's so many different paths. For the Protoss player, for the Zerg, it's pretty standard. You're going to be going Lings and Roaches. You're going to have to defend whatever the Protoss is throwing at you. But the Protoss has so many options. Now, we do see one of the Zealots get surrounded here. Nice grab there from violet. The Lings are chasing this Stalker. +1 weapons, not done just yet.
Yeah, I mean, a good job there by violet, recognizing that, okay, this isn't necessarily going to be one of those crazy all-in pushes, those 4-gate timing pressures. So building some Lings, but then mixing in some drones as well, realizing when he can feel safe, when he can feel comfortable, and staying on top of that economy, which is oh so important in the matchup of ZVP and this Overlord. Is it going to get away? It is at 80 HP. Make your bets now, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not betting anymore this weekend.
I know. I was about to set odds, but then I realized, okay, I lost too much.
No, we did an interview with Ghost Claw on stream earlier, and he got to brag a little bit. But Overlord did die, so...
Another one's going to die over here at the bottom here, perhaps.
I think that one should get away. Lings do need to back off, though.
Yeah.
Getting very close to
You know, protecting that Overlord, worth losing a couple Lings there as long as you keep that alive. But violet very comfortable in that supply count, 73 out of 102, so can afford to lose a couple of Overlords at this point in time. Now, we have an Immortal on the way out of Alicia right now, and the probe is going toward that third, so look out. He does have enough minerals to put down that third, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. And it's so important to have an observer in the situation, and Alicia has 2. So one is going to be monitoring this ramp leading up to his natural expansion, and one is going to be going to scout what his opponent is doing, and he's probably going to have, I would get another one maybe if he can fit it in to check this ramp that's leading up to his third base, or just position his units in that general area and then bring him back if he thinks there's going to be pressure into his natural expansion, because he has an observer there.
And this is my favorite style of Protoss right now, is the fast Sentry Immortal 3-base
It's
timings.
tough. You have to be good, and Alicia's great.
You have to be able to split your units perfectly. You have to be able to defend your natural and third. It takes a lot of control. You can't miss force fields with this style. Everything counts. So if you misjump once, you're going to lose so much gas in these Sentries and these Immortals. But if you can hold it off, I mean, Protoss, if they can control this third base really easily, I mean, they're going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, one of the stories of PvZ is the ability to get that 5th and 6th gas, and where it's up to like the Zerg player to prevent that from happening. But here we see violet taking a macro hatch, going for an infestation pit, continuing to add drones. He's going to go up to about 74, I think, more or less. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, and we'll have to keep an eye on when he decides to take that 4th base, and that's exactly what he's going to do right now. Meanwhile, Alicia realizing, okay, I'm a little bit safe. I have a 2 gateway wall off and a cannon at the entrance to my natural expansion, a sentry there as well, and I have the majority of my army over at my 3rd base. I can afford to tech a little bit, so he's putting down a robotic spade, definitely thinking about going into Colossi production fairly soon.
It's kind of sad that we're seeing these 2 players hit so early. Everyone I've talked to, it's either Violet or Alicia. Violet or Alicia. Who do they think is going to win? More favorite to Violet because, of course, he's the definite fan favorite here, but
sure,
this is only the round of 8, man. This is so early in the tournament, and these 2 are going to be facing off. And we're getting to that point where something's bound to happen soon. We have Violet taking his 4th base. Both players are getting upgrades. We're seeing Roach Speed, Pathogen Glands, 1-1 on the way. Colossus already in production for a Protoss player. This is getting scary.
It's interesting because Alicia's going for that Colossi, and oh my god, 18 more drones on the way. Okay, so he's going to be building a bunch of spine crawlers fairly in the near future here. Of course, you wouldn't go up to, what is it going to be, 90 drones without the intention to make spine crawlers. And yes, he's going to go for a Mutalisk style, it appears. And I say that because there is no hive on the way just yet. So if you put down the hive and the spire at the same time, you'd be like, okay, he's probably going for Broodlords. But in this situation, probably to go for the Mutalisk play. And this is just me theorizing as of right now. We also have a lot of infestors on the way. Now, there's a trick with this, because if Alicia can hit before the Mutas come out and before Violet can spend all his gas on those mutas. That's going to be a lot of gas that Violet hasn't quite used yet. And Alicia's going to have a great unit composition against the current composition of Violet, which is pretty much exclusively Lings, Roaches, and Infestors in those Colossi. So we'll have to see if Alicia recognizes his timing that is available to him, and we'll have to see whether or not he chooses to use that. And Violet going to try to prevent this by putting down a bunch of Spine Crawlers, as I mentioned before.
Yeah, good call on those Spine Crawlers. 8 of them have been produced so far. Look at that income tab. 84 drones, that's the solid amount. That's a really good amount to have. You, of course, add on more when you add more Spine Crawlers. You can slow push the creep. Creep spread looking okay for Violet so far. I mean, he hasn't been denied of it too much. He didn't go for that faster extra 4th queen to help that creep spread, so it is a bit slower here. We do have a battle here at the Zonlaga Tower. Nice positioning on that Zealot there. Taking out a handful of Lings here. It will eventually fall, though. And I love the fact that Violet has these 2 forces on the map. They're not very big forces, but they're giving him some form of map control.
I like it because if Alicia ever decides to move out, you know, Violet's going to see that, and he has a squadron of Lings and Roaches at the north side of the map where he can go and try to take down that 3rd. Those Lings and Roaches can take down a 3rd fairly fast if Alicia doesn't react properly. But right now, Violet biding his time, waiting for that move out, and we might be approaching that point soon.
One of the most interesting things to note here is that Alicia got a really late Twilight Council, so he does have 1/1/1. He doesn't have any other upgrades, though, so he's been getting upgrades very, very soon. So there's going to be a large time period where Violet is actually going to be even or even up on upgrades, and that's going to help a lot. I mean, normally you never see a Zerg player getting that 3/3 on the Broodlords, and it's just Protoss having 3/3 there.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, the upgrade's going to be a little bit later, so Violet might be a tad ahead in that regard as this game goes along. But it looks like Alicia wants to push across the map here, and it looks like Violet adding Corruptors to its composition, and the Hive is about to finish. So if I were him, I would use the Corruptors, take out those Colossi, go for it, try to get a cost-efficient engagement, and then morph those Corruptors into Broodlords right when the Colossi are through. We also have a Stargate on the way for Alicia, so definitely thinking about either Void Ray tech or that Mothership that is oh so important nowadays in the late-game ZVP matchup. But Violet still positioning himself around the map, has a decent amount of Corruptors in the position, and, you know, he has a lot of units here which aren't going to be terribly cost-effective in those Lings, in all those Lings, which the Colossi will melt right away. So I'm interested to see if he's going to try to go for a counterattack with those, or maybe use them for something else.
I love the timing of this Stargate. He is not wasting any time doing the merge. We do have a small engagement here. I don't know if Violet should be engaging with this. Ling's getting devoured. Roach is taking out one of those Colossus. There's still 3 more. Corruptor's doing a lot of damage as well. Good fungal growth there on the army. I don't know if this was a good trade for Violet or not, though. He took out all the Colossus, but all the Stalkers and Immortals remain. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with that. He still has a lot of Lings. I mean, not a lot of Lings. He wanted to get rid of those Lings.
He does have
but
a
he's
really
making
huge
44
bank.
more. That's
he
interesting.
can't afford to do
The big bank is what I want to really emphasize, because the Greater Spire is about to finish, which means he's going to be able to make a lot of Broodlords upcoming. Now, this army is killable by Violet, I think, but you know, it's going to take a couple remaxes. So he has to make sure he gets those cost-efficient engagements. Those Spine Crawlers are going to be very helpful in the near future. And look at this. Alicia is adding Colossi to his composition, adding a Dark Shrine as well. War Prism speed, has a War Prism, but Stargate is done. So look for that Fleet Beacon in the relatively near future, because he's getting his, what is that, 7th and 8th gas on the field. But, you know, again, I'm okay with that, considering he lost the Lings, which, you know, you're allowed to lose, and he killed a lot of those Colossi. And look at that, 9 Broodlords on the way for Violet.
Well, the problem of the only problem I see with Alicia's play is he's doing so much at once. He's getting the War Prism, the speed, the upgrades. Look at his upgrades right now. He is 2/1/1. The Lings are going to have 3/3, which means the Broodlings are going to have 3/3. He's going double Spire, so the Broodlords are going to be 3/3 eventually. Alicia will be down on upgrades, and that doesn't happen too much. Nice fungal growth on those Stalkers, though, picking up a handful there. He can afford to do these trades like you were talking about, just pick off these units, and the Broodlords have been shown.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you know, immediately upon seeing that, the Fleet Beacon is placed down, so Mothership definitely going to happen in the near future. Warp Prism drop in the main base of Violet, and this could be very tricky to deal with. He's going to have to send some units back home, or send his rallying units home to deal with that.
Evo chambers, and 3/3 is not done. This is a huge grab there for Alicia, delaying that. But Alicia has this big army at his front door. I don't know if Alicia can stop this just yet. He doesn't have the Mothership anytime soon.
Yeah, this is very interesting play. Like, Alicia refusing to engage this while doing a lot of damage to Violet back home, and we're kind of in an awkward situation where Violet kind of wants to lose some supply, I feel, so he can reinforce units back there to actually deal with the Zealots. Sending Lings over there, that's not going to do too much, I don't think. The Zealot's still very much alive, but Violet is going to be engaging at this 4th base. Alicia trying to get his probes out of there. 3 Dark Templars on the way as well in the main base, and there's no Overseer, no Spore Caller, no Spine Crawler, so these DTs could theoretically do a lot of damage here.
Alicia did get all his probes out of the way from that 3rd. We're just coming forward. It looks like he might want to try and do a run by here. He does snipe that 5th base for Violet. There was nothing mining there, though. DT's in the main base doing so much damage. They might get the Greater Spire before that +1 attack finishes. Roach Warren's very low as well. Violet not doing anything for this army, and oh no, we might be seeing a base race here.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Alicia, oh, and the +1 didn't finish for that Spire. A Greater Spire being made. Overseers are here. The Roaches are finally here in the main base. Violet engaging into the 3rd base of Alicia. Meanwhile, Alicia trying to do as much damage as he can, try to take down as many drones as he can on Violet's side of things. And this is going to start getting a little bit crazy. Neither player going for direct engagement. Both just going for each other's bases.
It's hard to tell who's going to come out on top here. I like the fact that Alicia's starting to mix in the Void Rays. That's going to help a lot with his late game composition. Yes. If they pick off all the Corruptors, this could be really smart. Look at that unit stat. There's actually only 4 Corruptors on the field.
And, you know, Violet's scrambling to make more and more Spine Callers to help defend against this attack from Alicia. And Alicia only has like 2 Colossi, so it's not like he can just sit back with his whole army and only attack with the Colossi, because that would take forever. He's going to engage from 2 different sides here with every single one of his units. He's going to take down every single one of these Spine Callers and trying to find where Violet remains. Meanwhile, at Alicia's side of things, 185 to 150 is the supply count. Broodlord still killing absolutely everything. Infestors on the ground and Roaches as well, trying to supplement those Broodlords. Where are the Void Rays? Okay, there's one just chilling above the Stargate, so we'll have to look out for him. But if Violet controls his Infestors correctly, the Void Rays shouldn't be too much of a problem.
I really feel that Violet is in a great position this game. He's getting Burrow, which is really smart. Look at that supply, 177 to 139. Alicia does have probes on the map. They have been scouted by these Roaches for Violet that are being taken out. Their D-Teams being warped in. Where is the Overseers? How many does he have? He has 5 of them, so he's going to be able to see that all day. This is nice. I think that Violet's in a pretty much unlosable situation at
Yeah,
this
he
point.
still has a stupid good Vic right now as well. Now engaging to the main base of his opponent, sending units absolutely everywhere in the top of the location. 3 DTs are chasing about 14 Roaches. An Overseer finally joining in on the fun. And Alicia can't lose units at this point in time. Every unit is so important for him because he pretty much can't make anymore. So, you know, I really do like Violet here. But again, anything can happen. Like, Blink Stalkers are super mobile, so we could see a situation where Alicia is going to send a squadron of Stalkers around the map trying to find the last remaining buildings of Violet, while Violet is going to try to find his way back to where Alicia is to try to kill the rest of his buildings.
Does Violet have a base? I think he okay, there he goes. He just barely got that hatchery up in the main base. That was his last building. Like, he almost
There's
just
also
got
a
timed
gas
out
at his natural expansion that's still alive. But yeah, it's very good timing on that hatchery. And all his money's gone because he made 2 more Broodlords, so doesn't have enough to make another hatchery.
What's the income tab? It's 12 to 3. So,
this is ridiculous. Okay.
It comes down to what you said, the Blink Stalkers.
Yes.
How is Alicia
Okay, so here's what has to happen. Violet has to keep some units back home to defend this hatchery, I feel.
Yes,
would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely.
You can't leave that hatchery alone
Especially
because
with
he doesn't have any more money left. Also, Violet has to have a drone probably in every, like, one in a sim lane in the top left. I would put one near the Vespine gas there, just in case. I would put one at the Vespine gas at the bottom right, just in case.
Is there an observer? No. Did he finish Burrow?
Yes,
no.
he did finish Burrow.
No, he did not finish Burrow.
I thought he did. Oh, no, he didn't. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no. The Colossus is going to get high ground vision to the Stalkers. Oh, no. Violet getting caught out of position. Can the Stalkers target down the hatchery in time? This is not the last building, though. There are 2 assemblers at the natural expansion, so it's not one of those crazy situations. But Fungal goes going down, and the hatchery, is it going to survive? Is it going to cancel? He does cancel it.
Oh.
And he's going to have some money left, but he used it immediately on another hatchery.
Very clutch. This is
Alicia
coming
throwing
down
away
to
a lot
wire,
of Stalkers
man.
there, too.
Let's look at the supply. 58 to 86 units tab. There's 18 Stalkers, 1 Immortal, 2 Dark Temple, and 1 Slide. So he actually lost the Colossus as well in that engagement.
Yes.
Oh, this is looking really bad for Alicia. He does still have the Dark Templar, but there's still 4 Overseers on the map. I don't know at this point what Alicia can do.
He has to exploit the mobility of his Stalkers and somehow snipe those 2 extractors into the hatchery. But great Fungal. I think Violet has this. I don't see how Alicia can get into his opponent's main base and snipe that hatchery. Especially, Violet just needs to camp back home. Now, this could turn into a draw because eventually Violet has to move out to try to find the Nexus and try to kill those. But how is he going to do it? Because there are units from Alicia where if he micros those correctly, because keep in mind, Violet always has to keep units back home. So it's not like he can send his entire army across the map because that leaves his buildings vulnerable. So, and also Violet has no idea where his opponent's nexuses are, I don't think. Okay, he actually knows exactly where they are. So we'll have to see how he decides to try to tackle this because this is his game to lose. He does not want this to be a draw. Violet does not want this to be a draw.
Yeah, it's his game right now. He has this one. But you have to keep in mind, Alicia is mining.
He's actually mining
and get something. I think mixing in DTs at this point, or maybe even possibly Void Rays, would be a nice. We'll have to see what tech point he wants to go.
Violet building a drone, so he's going to mine from from I guess the natural expansion, Alicia's old natural expansion. So what a bizarre situation. We both have like off-centered main production structures at each other's bases right now. This is as crazy as it gets. Stalker's coming forward. Oh, Broodlords can't be left off guard here because the Stalkers target a lot of those down and kill them. He's going to actually target down the Overseers. That's brilliant. Oh no, he has DTs, remember that, but another Overseer coming forward, and wow, great, smart choice. Okay, so that was so smart. I have to talk about that a little bit. He was going for the Overseers because he had DTs, because he wanted to send the DTs forward and kill the structures of Violet, because he would have no detection if the Overseers are dead. But the third Overseer came forward, and that's why we saw the GG from Alicia, because he's like, okay, you have an Overseer. I tried my trick. I tried to target down those Overseers, but you had another one coming. So great game from both the players, and just great decision-making on both sides. But Violet showing his crisis management has gotten a lot better. Because
he squeezed out all those Overseers. He had 5 at one point. He was down to 3. It was a nice snag, like you said, but that was well played. That was
honestly, it's funny because it reminds me of the Lone Star Clash. It was actually the same situation. I think it was literally the round of 8 in the winner's bracket, or round of 4, one of the two. He was playing Pult. It was the same exact map. It came to exactly like that, a base trade situation where Violet just had like a few buildings left, and like Pult was completely dead, but managed to get a squadron of Marines on the field and managed to snipe the last hatchery of Violet before he can build something else. We almost had that situation there where Violet barely got a building down as soon as his last building completed. So again, awesome crisis management there from Violet.
And look at Violet's style. He has this crazy style where I can see him being in these base race positions every once in a while, where it comes down to these crazy end games. So he's got a lot more experience. Because Alicia, he has a standard style. He probably doesn't get down to this kind of down to the wire as much.
You know, honestly, both these players have played thousands of games, so I'm sure they've both in that. I mean, honestly, both the players, like, they played that. They both played that pretty darn well. Like, think about the decision Alicia had to make, and to think to himself, okay, I have a couple DTs on the field. I'm going to go try to snipe the Overseers, and then I'm going to use the DTs to do it. So I think both the players played that incredibly well. But Violet, I think he just had the stronger unit composition overall, because I feel like Alicia was the one who did not, by any means, want to engage that army from Violet. And then, of course, the Spinecrawlers doing a decent amount, whittling out some units. And then another important part of that match was when Alicia, and let me say, ready. We
are ready. So we're going to just go straight into the game, too, but continue with what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, so remember that there was that moment where we used the Colossus for high ground vision and then blinked the Stalkers in the main and tried to kill the hatchery, but joke's on him because Violet had a gas at his natural expansion, so even if that died, but he ended up canceling it anyway. So it was a cool move by Alicia. He didn't necessarily know about the gases at his opponent's natural expansion, but ultimately, you know, again, Violet playing that really well. Again, both the players, that was an awesome game. I want that to happen again here.
And I love this map. Just let's get into introductions real quick. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, Tal'Darim Altar as the blue Zerg from Team Empire, up 1-0. Will he be able to close the series here? We have Violet.
Imba Zerg.
And his opponent on the top left from Team SlayerS, runner-up at MLG. Will he be able to bring this to an ace match? We have Alicia.
I just want to type Imba, but I'm a ref. Oh, no, I'm not a ref.
We're spectators.
We're like, we have to be professional and all that, so we can't really type to the players in a tournament setting. You know, it's a running joke. Again, these guys, they're not really saying, you know, it's not like, they're just kidding around. It's not like people are out there, oh, Alicia's calling Zerg Imba. He's the best Protoss player in the world. Let's make a Reddit thread about how Zerg's Imba because he must be right, because he's a Protoss player. He's really good. No, none of that happening here. They're just joking around. They're having fun. And I'm having fun.
We didn't see a 6-pull on this map.
6-pull?
Yeah, we did not see it.
No, we did not.
Well, usually a lot of Zergs will go for the 6-pull. This map is not fun for Zerg. I love this map choice for Alicia. It is very smart.
Why?
Because this map is very hard for Zerg to play on. Harder to get that third base. Even if you do get a third base, hard to secure a fourth.
You know, these positions are absolutely terrible for Violet.
Yeah.
Where is he going to take a third?
Yeah, you can't. Usually Zergs will go over here. They'll take this base over here.
Guess where that is?
And that's right by Alicia's base.
Hey, I'm your new neighbor.
That is.
Tal'Darim
Altar would be a better map if it was Force Cross, but it's still a pain.
No, you can't. Like, that's hard to do because it's such a big map. People, everyone would just like do cheeses and stuff.
Yeah. You can't do that. Like, it's a rough map for Zerg, and I love this choice from Alicia. It's smart.
Yeah. You know, he got the lucky draw, and that his opponent just got the worst positions possible. So I'm interested how Violet's gonna adjust here. You know, you can't really do the standard. You can't really do the standard 3-hatch, no gas for 30 minutes thing. You can't do that. You have to get gas early on. Maybe a speed opening and a mutas. I think that'd be a solid choice. You know,
this is a good Ling muta map. A lot of the Zergs love doing this in ZVP.
Yeah. But no gas just yet there for Violet though. So, you know, a little bit interesting. I'm really intrigued to see what he does. I feel like, you know, if I played this map and these, does he know about the positions yet?
He does. He's got an overlord over the base.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, not going for the really early pull. But we'll see. You know, he is up 1-0, so might just play it extremely safe and see what happens, because he does have the map choice leading into the next game, making 6 slings right away when that spawning pull completes, but there's already a cannon on the way. This pathway is relatively hard to block off, but Alicia should be able to do that in time. Too good of a player to let some lings run by. And, you know, violet might just be making these lings to take down these rocks at his third, so he can not delay that at all, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. That might be exactly what he's doing. So yeah, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I'm okay with this as well. We'll have to see. Yeah, he's going super fast for those rocks. I mean,
yep.
You can do delayed third builds. It's just like a Protoss blowing that pylon down. These lings are willing this down at an okay speed.
But where does he take his fourth? Like,
yeah, it still doesn't really that problem. It's just like Entombed Valley, why it's called Protoss Valley. It's very hard to get a fourth base on Entombed Valley, and from there it's even harder to get a fifth. It's really difficult. We'll have to see what Violet has in store, man.
Yeah, I mean, it should be interesting. 2 queens on the way here for Violet. Alicia, what are you doing? Actually, on Violet's vision on Accent. Alicia taking his 2 gases. Let's see. Does he have 100 gas yet? No. I'll have to keep an eye on that 100 gas. What is he going to use it on? Is it going to be a +1 upgrade out of that forge? Are we going to see a some sort of gateway timing from him? Are we going to see a zealot out of his gateway? Yes, it is going to be a zealot. So, he has 130 gas, 150. I'm wondering what he's doing with all this gas. So yeah.
He's got to be doing a 2-base timing. Even though this is a better map for Protoss here, it's still hard to take that third base. So it's going to be some form of timing. A lot of Protoss like to go Stargate on this map. So we'll have to see if he's going to be throwing out. The Cybernex core is finishing up, so it's just until
he's
we
definitely
see
teching to something, I feel like. Okay, there's the +1. Okay, still a decent amount, I guess. Okay, and then immediately building a stalker. So and getting warp gate technology. So that's a lot of stuff he's getting. Yeah, I don't know what exactly he's going to do here.
Possibly a 7-gate.
We'll see. I don't think there's too much to be able to tell. It's not like he's chrono boosting the heck out of his core or his forge. Where is he distributing his chrono boost right now?
He's just got a bunch saved up. He's got 50 on his natural, 25 on his main.
Let's just see where he uses the next one, and that should give us an idea of what he's hoping to do.
He's
okay, there we have a third
gas.
So yeah, it's still up in the air. We'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, Violet taking a third of his own as he started gas. Yes, he has gotten his first gas, got his second gas as natural expansion, getting a Roach Warren on the ground. Pretty standard play from him thus far. And now, what can we say about Alicia? Chrono boosting that forge. Twilight Council, okay. So, is this going to be a +2 blink timing?
We'll have to see. It's more than likely. I feel the faster Twilight Council, more points to the +2 blink timing. Depends on how many gates he's done now. We haven't seen any gates just yet.
We have some links poking forward here from Violet, trying to see what intel he can gather. Let's get his vision really quick. Doesn't seem much. I wonder if he saw the chrono boost on the forge. And there's the blink. So this is going to be a +2 blink timing, I feel, from Alicia. You know, researching that blink, and of course he will be able to research +2 right away out of that forge. And like the thing about this is, like, he can literally build a pylon on the right side of his main, and he's going to be so close to the third base of Violet.
Violet doing so well. Will he be able to get the surround? Alicia's marking this, and there's the surround that stalker. Nice grab. And because he's going blink stalkers, he can't afford to be losing stalkers like this. This is going to be a real bigger. Now, how many gateways will we see down? We're currently going up to 4.
Yeah, I'd say 6 or 7. And I'm wondering if he's like this. Is this going to be completely all in, or are we
I think so, because you got the second gas.
Let's see, so the 4 or
the 4th gas. He's up to 7 gates right now.
Okay, yeah, that's
so
about
7
right.
gate +2 blink. This is pretty
one of the oldest builds in the book, and you know, very good on this map, especially in these positions. And Alicia knows that, which is why he's doing this. So I'm interested to see, is Violet going to be able to recognize this, and how is he going to react? The Overlord could get some nice intel here. So he's 1 gateway. Is he going to get envision of the rest of the gateways? 24 HP, 9 HP. Oh, so 1 extra gateway, but
he's completely in the dark. Look at him throwing down spore colors. He has no idea what could be coming at him.
You know, I wish he had an Overlord at the top side of the map to like peek in there. Like, can't you get an Overlord back there and keep it safe? Behind your opponent's base.
This is going to be rough. I want to commend one thing about it. He's spreading creep like a madman. That's going to help so much here.
I'm so scared for him, man.
Yeah, this is. I don't know if he's be able to hold this off. This blink timing.
He's only going to have roaches.
Yeah. Is speed done on the lings? I believe it is.
Okay, that would be okay. His speed is done.
Yes, he does have speed on the lings. That's going to help. Lings are going to really help against these stalkers.
All right, so he's starting unit productions. He's at 53 drones. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
He's getting burrow. That might be a game changer. There is no robotics facility, no observer.
That's true. There we finally see an overseer on the way from Violet. Wants absolutely to know what his opponent is doing. We have +1 carapace on the way as well, but Alicia +2 is about to finish, which means he's about to finish. And look at this. Look at all these stalkers. See, again, you just put a pile in there. Guess what? You're warping in, and you're a stone's throw away from your opponent's third. So Alicia about to apply a lot of aggression. Will Violet be able to hold it off?
+2 is about to finish. This timing from Alicia is so flawless. 22 Lings, 5 Roaches in production. Burrow's only halfway done. Carapace is only halfway done as well. I don't know if he's going to hold this, Axel.
It's going to be so tough. But we'll see.
Nice
Lings
flank.
coming in from the back, so it's not like the Stalkers can blink anywhere. If they blink, they'll get nicked on by those Lings. Violet doing a decent job right now. 118 to 79 supply, but Alicia is not done. Remember, he's going to blink back as weakened Stalkers. Going to make them very, very, very cost efficient. Has the ability to make 7 Stalkers at a time if he so pleases. Can warp in incredibly close to his opponent's third. But look at this, 22 more Lings, 4 Roaches on the way for Violet. Has been on top of his unique injections, and Burrow is about to finish.
Yeah, with Burrow finishing, this might be it for Alicia. I don't see this push working anymore. Violet's just producing so many units right now. He has not missed an inject. Ling streaming forward. Alicia getting a big blink back. Roach is microing very well. Alicia's still microing well as well. He can't afford to get off creep though, Violet. You need to be careful.
Yeah,
Burrow is
no
finished
overextending
though.
here. There's no reason to overextend here. You're the defender. Your opponent's all in. You're on 3 bases. Stay safe. Stay back. Let your opponent commit.
Oh, the Stalkers, this is such good control from Alicia, but Violet has just so much. Carapace is upgraded. It's 2-0 versus 1 or 0-1, and these Lings are just doing so much damage, and Alicia might be about to lose here. This is just too much from Violet.
Keep in mind, this is the runner-up from MLG Spring Championships. Violet about to knock him out of the GESL, charging forward with all these Lings and these Roaches. No expansion behind this. Alicia completely all in, trying to desperately warp in some more Stalkers, but I feel like we're going to see a GG any moment now.
Nice blinking onto the high ground. These Stalkers are still getting picked up. Now Violet back home is getting Roach speed. 32 more Lings. He's adding on additional.
There it is.
GG! Violet taking out Alicia, runner-up at MLG Anaheim 2-0. No one saw this coming.
Incredible.
We all wanted it, but
Violet saw it coming.
Violet saw it coming.
I know there's some
Wow.
Violet fans out there who saw it coming, but absolutely astonishing. God, the Violet played that so well.
Wow.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer in Violet right now. I'm going to look at the bracket. So he's going to go on to face Monster, and that's
Yes,
exactly what
CVZ.
Monster wanted, apparently, licking his lips. But I hope, hopefully,
he was scared because
hopefully-
Violet has a weird ZVZ.
hopefully I can interview Monster. Are we doing interviews?
You mean Violet?
Can I confirm it? Or Violet? We don't know? Okay.
We don't know.
I kind of want to talk to him.
Yeah.
He's my buddy.